Hello, everybody, and welcome back to BioSC 140. This is the fifth and final journal article laboratory report assignment. Now, I see as I'm recording this, it says assignment 4. This is assignment 5. I'll get that fixed on Monday when I get back into the office. So this one is on the discussion, the final portion of a scientific research paper. And it's also the final section of the report. Now, this is the fifth one. As you've worked through the first 4, you probably kind of see where we're going. You probably see how these assignments are going to really prepare you for your journal laboratory write-up, your final laboratory write-up. Put a lot of effort into this one, and you're going to be halfway there when you get to the discussion for your final write-up. Remember, these short assignments are worth 5 points. The final write-up is worth 50, which is a significant portion of your grade. So let's get into it. The discussion, I mean, every section's important to a scientific paper, but the discussion is like really important, really, really important. The discussion is where you explain the results of your experiment. It's where you analyze everything. We haven't done any real analysis up until this point. It's where you discuss what happened in your experiment and why you think it happened. It's where you discuss the importance of your experiment. Why is your experiment important? Why is the information that you learned in your experiment important? So let's read this assignment. So this is where you explain the results in terms of expected results from the literature research. That is, this is where you explain what happened physiologically. What was the reason? What was the mechanism for what happened in your experiment? Try to explain any discrepancies between what you found and what you expected based on what has been reported scientifically. So, unfortunately, because this is an online asynchronous class, we would not perform the experiments live. Typically, we would do these experiments in class live and come up with our own data. Then we would compare our own data with the example data provided in our labs, and also just compare that with what we know about the topic. So unfortunately, we won't have any of our own data that we could explain, maybe we mixed the chemicals wrong, maybe we started the clock late, maybe, normally there's some discrepancies, you can kind of explain them. So unfortunately, we can't really do that in this class this semester. Think of possible physiological or technical reasons why your results differ or are the same. Again, because we don't have our own data, that's going to become a little bit tougher. Describe what was demonstrated by the experiment and the physiology that was involved. What did we demonstrate with these labs? What is the physiology involved in these labs? Be sure to integrate the results in your discussion and to show the physiological principles that are being demonstrated. Make sure you discuss the physiology in the context of your results. As a general rule of thumb, every one of your tables and figures should be addressed in some form in your discussion. In the discussion, you should reference some background information that you talked about in your introduction. In the discussion, you should reference your hypothesis. In the discussion, you should reference the results section of your paper. You should say, in figure 1, or if you look at figure 1, it shows this. It's the analysis part. In the results section of the paper, we just give results. There's no analysis. This is where you analyze that data. In your final laboratory write-up, you should very clearly reference your results section. Table 1 shows this. Figure 1 shows this. And so bring up your data, bring up your results, and then discuss what those results show. what happened in your experiment? Why did you get the results that you got? Why did you get the results that you got? Explain the science behind it. So table 1 shows the effects of and how it increased. Perfect. Inclusion. Keep in mind that the purpose of this laboratory exercise and your hypotheses as you write down. Perfect. So the discussion is just where you discuss everything. It's where you tie it all together and you show what you learned from your experiment. You should mention your hypothesis. Was your hypothesis right? Was your hypothesis wrong? Should you change your hypothesis? How could you improve upon this experiment? What could be a good follow-up experiment? All right, so common errors made. And then once you get into the questions, work through these questions with regards to the experiment that you chose. And when it comes time to do your final laboratory write-up, you can pull out this assignment and you'll have half of your assignment already written just by going through these questions. If you have any questions on the discussion, please let me know. Give me an email. I'm here to help. With that, I will see you in the next video.